Hello there. Today we have a video for Unit 13. We are going to be covering our beginner's book and we will cover the grammar of the unit. And well, today we have the present continuous in the affirmative, negative, and question form. Pay a lot of attention because this is a very important part of the grammar in English. Okay, it is important to remember that the present continuous describes an action at the moment of speaking or an action now. Also, the verb to be and the verb plus ing are necessary. They have to always be part of your sentences when you express the continuous. Okay, here we have an example in affirmative. We have, I am working on a project. I am working on a project. The elements are four. They are the subject, I, the auxiliary, am, or the verb to be, and a verb plus ing. Very important to always use a verb plus ing when you express continuous tenses. And also we have the complement, on a project. Let's look at more examples. Example number 1, she is doing the laundry downstairs. Example number 2, they are studying for their finals right now. By finals we mean exams. And the third example, I am explaining the grammar to you. This is something that I'm doing right now or at this moment. Let's check if we have the elements we mentioned before. Subject, she, they, and I. Yes, they are there. Do we have the verb to be as an auxiliary? We have is, are, and am. Yes, we do have the auxiliary to be. Do we have a verb plus ing? We have doing, studying, and explaining. So yes, the verb plus ing is present in all the examples. And well, to complete the idea, in all examples we have the complement, the laundry downstairs, for their finals right now, and the grammar to you. Complement, complement, complement. Okay, before we go to negative, let's check or remind you on negative contractions with the verb to be. Okay, so for I am not, we have I'm not. For she is not, we have two forms. We have she isn't or she's not. For he is not, we have he isn't or he's not. For it is not, we have it isn't and it is not. For they are not, we have they aren't or they're not. And finally, for we are not, we have we aren't or they are not. Oh, we forgot one. For you are not, we have you aren't or you're not. A note that I put here for you, always try to use contractions when you speak. If you use contractions when you speak, you will sound more natural. Okay, now let's go to the negative. In the negative, we have, again, four elements. We have the subject, the auxiliary to be in negative with a contraction, and we also have the verb plus ing as well as a complement. The result is, she isn't doing her homework right now. She isn't doing her homework right now. I wrote some examples for you. In example 1, we have, we aren't shopping for shoes. Example number 2, I'm not dancing at the moment. Example number 3, he is not or he's not doing a good job with the painting. Let's see, we have the elements we mentioned before. We have subject, we, I, and he. So yes, they are present. Do we have the verb to be in negative as an auxiliary? Yes, we have aren't, I'm not, and snot. So yes, it is there. Auxiliary in negative, auxiliary in negative, auxiliary in negative. And a verb plus ing, let's see if it's there. Yes, we have shopping, dancing, and doing. Verb plus ing, verb plus ing, verb plus ing. And as usual, we also have a complement in all the examples. For shoes, at the moment, and a good job with the painting. Okay, the final part is questions. And questions, as usual, and as we saw before, they also have 4 parts. We're going to be using a question word if it's necessary, the auxiliary to be, the subject, and finally the verb plus ing. There might be a complement here if necessary, depending on the situation or the context of the question. If it's a yes-no question, one that requires a yes or a no, we only need the auxiliary to be, the subject, the verb plus ing, and the complement if necessary. Okay, so in question 1 we have, what are you doing? What are you doing? In example number 2, the yes-no question, we have, are you cooking for us? Are you cooking for us? Okay, we have other examples here. Example number 1, who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? Example number 2, what is she working on? What is she working on? Example number 3, is he preparing for his test? Is he preparing for his test? Okay, let's look at the labeling of these examples. We have a question word. We do in the first 2 examples. We have what and who, or who and what. In the third one, it is not necessary because once again, it is a yes or no question. Okay, let's see. We have the verb to be. Yes, the verb to be is present. We have are. We have is. And we have is too in the third example. Subject, we have you, she, or he. Do we have a verb plus ing? Yes, we do. We have talking, working, and preparing. Also, well, in this case, it's a contraction. The preposition, it works as a complement. On is also works as a complement. And for this test, also for a complement. Well, actually, it is not really a complement. In this case, sorry guys, made a little mistake here. This would be part of the verb. In more advanced books, you will find or learn about the phrasal verbs, which are verbs that have a preposition. Okay, let's answer these questions. Question number 1, who are you talking to? You can say, I am talking to my friend. It's an information answer. What is she working on? You can say, she's working on a project. Yes, no question answer. Is he preparing for this test? You can just say yes, he is. In the answer, or yes, no, we're going to use the same form of the verb to be that we have in the beginning. Is. Okay, so with this we're done with explaining present continuous in affirmative, negative, and question form. You can check the video again if you think it's necessary. And please do not stop practicing. Always practice your pronunciation, your speaking, your writing, and your reading. Goodbye.